Dropshipping is great, but there are so many problems with it. The number one problem being that it takes a long time for the product to actually get to the customer, and also it's very, very hard to get your logo on the product. Most dropshipping products, they come with absolutely no logo, so the customer feels like they've almost been cheated. It feels like they've just bought some cheap product from, that just came straight from a Chinese factory. So when I got into Shopify, I went in with the mentality that I'm gonna go and create a new strategy where we're gonna be able to get a logo on the product, and also we're gonna be able to offer fast 2 to 3 day shipping in the United States and around the world. And really, it's the only way that I found to actually be successful with Shopify. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going over how to get a logo and also how to get fast shipping on your Shopify dropshipping store. And I'm super excited about this video today because this is a question that I get so often. A lot of people ask me, hey Dan, how do I get a logo on the product? A lot of people, they're contacting suppliers on Alibaba, also on AliExpress, and they're trying to get their logo on their dropshipping product. And this is, mostly for people who are just getting started. And I'm not talking about people who are placing bulk orders for their products, nothing like that. This is mostly for people just getting started with Shopify, just getting started with dropshipping, right? And so I have to be honest, the classic dropshipping method, I'm not a fan of at all, simply because it's honestly a huge pain in the ass. And I'm gonna explain why. So with dropshipping, typically, as you've probably watched my videos, you've probably watched and seen videos online from other YouTubers, with dropshipping, you're gonna find that the product is basically coming to the customer with no logo, and it takes like 3 to 4 weeks to get to the customer. And in a world of Amazon FBA, where most people can just get a product on Amazon in like 1 or 2 days, that's just simply unacceptable. But the thing is that there is no way to actually get your logo or to get fast shipping if you just stick to the main way of doing drop shipping, which is just to basically go on AliExpress, find a supplier, things like that. If you already have some experience running a drop shipping store, if you've already ran a Shopify store even for a little bit, you know that customers will complain about super long shipping times. And honestly, some of them are even shocked at the fact that the product that they receive in the mail is nothing at all like what it looks like on the website, because it looks like it just came straight out of the Chinese factory. There is actually a solution to this problem, and I'm going to break down my strategy that I've developed from my own vast e-commerce background, a little bit about myself. I've sold millions of dollars of products online through e-commerce, through Amazon FBA and Shopify. I'm actively running e-commerce brands. I'm actively building and investing in new e-commerce brands. By the way, if you want between 1 and 10K for your e-commerce brand, if you already have an e-commerce brand idea, or even if you have a few, then you can go ahead and click on the link down below. There's actually going to be a link there to apply to partner up with the Ecom Freedom VC, which is my venture capital fund. We're an e-commerce only venture capital firm, and we partner up exclusively with new e-commerce entrepreneurs, people who are just getting started. So if that's something you're interested in, you can check that out below. But about myself, I actually started off with Amazon FBA. Now, if you look at the Amazon FBA model, on Amazon FBA, you have a logo on your product because you're ordering in bulk, and you also have extremely fast shipping simply because you are using Amazon's FBA fulfillment system, right? So that way, all of your customers, they order on Amazon and they trust that Amazon's going to get it to them in like 1 or 2 days. However, on Shopify, totally different, right? On Shopify, you actually have to figure out how to get the logo on there. You actually have to figure out how to do the fulfillment, how to get the shipping all correct and everything like that. So that's why when I started off with Amazon FBA in 2017, and I actually quickly went up from 0 all the way up to 32K a month with my product, which was amazing. It completely changed my life, and I have tons of videos to talk about this on my channel. You can watch those later. When I actually dove into Shopify about a year later, I realized, you know what, I have to change. I have to adopt a new strategy. And so I took the elements that I learned from Amazon FBA and I adopted it. I added those into Shopify, and that's what led me to create the branded dropshipping strategy, for which I have tons of videos on my YouTube, as well as this super long, super amazing, super detailed 2.5 hour complete Shopify tutorial I also have on my channel. Of course, since I created my videos, tons of YouTubers have adopted my strategy, and they've copied my strategy, and they also call it branded dropshipping. I was the first one to create it, and it's honestly revolutionary. So here's how it works. Right now in 2021, when you are talking to suppliers, when you're contacting suppliers, so you can actually use 2 different websites. You can use AliExpress, you can use Alibaba. AliExpress is going to be traditionally the most common website that most people that are starting dropshipping use to find a supplier. Why? Because on AliExpress, you can basically, you don't have to order in bulk, and you can use something called Oberlo, which is a tool. There are many other tools out there, but it's going to be like an automatic order fulfillment tool. What it does is you can basically create your Shopify site, you can put up your product, you don't have to order any units, and then using Oberlo, you can actually just start getting customers. So you can start advertising your site and everything, and then as you get customers, you make money. You make the money first, then you use Oberlo to actually send all that information information of your customers. So the customer's address, the name, their phone numbers, and all that kind of good stuff. So you use Oberlo to automatically send that off to your supplier, and then your supplier that you found on AliExpress basically goes on AliExpress and it like buys the product for the customer, and then it ships it directly to the customer. So that's traditionally, the main drop shipping method. As I've discussed, it's not really good at all because no logo and shipping is usually very, very slow. Now, another way that I've been teaching on my YouTube channel to avoid using Oberlo, I have videos talking about how Oberlo is not the best, and this method just, it's going to backfire on you because you're going to have customers complaining about your shipping time, and you're going to have customers complaining about the fact that, hey man, my product literally looks like it just came out of the Chinese factory, like I could literally buy this at the dollar store. You don't want people doing that, obviously. The other way that I've been teaching is to contact suppliers on Alibaba. Alibaba, just like AliExpress, is a place where you can find Chinese suppliers for all kinds of products, millions of products. But on Alibaba, the difference is that those are suppliers that work mostly with bulk orders. So you can go on there, you can type a product in, and then typically the factories will want what's called an MOQ, a minimum order quantity. And so they will basically say, okay, for 500 units, this is the price. And then at that point, they will be able to put the logo on your product, and they're going to ship all those bulk units to wherever you want them shipped to yourself, or, if you're selling on Amazon, to Amazon, or for Shopify, to yourself if you're fulfilling yourself, or to a third-party fulfillment warehouse, which there's a lot of options. I know it's a little bit complicated. Don't worry. I'm taking it step by step as much as I can. Now, the way that I've started all my successful Shopify stores is I actually went directly to Alibaba and I found the supplier. And what I did was I found the best supplier for my product. So I ordered like samples. You can order samples from Alibaba. What a sample is it's a basically 1 unit of your product. And it's the best way to find the best supplier because you can kind of order samples from like 3 to 5 suppliers. Usually I go with like 3 or 4, and then you get it to your house, and then you can feel and touch the product in your hands. You can see if it's good. And then at that point, you can choose the best supplier. And so what I did was I was like, well, wait a second. All these suppliers are on Alibaba, and they're probably also on AliExpress. And I was like, wait, what if I could ask the suppliers on Alibaba to drop ship the product for me at the beginning, and then once I'm really doing a good amount of units, and once my product has been proven on my store, then at that point I can actually order in bulk and then actually take on that risk. Because when you order in bulk, you do take on a capital risk. Obviously, you have to pay $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, depending on how many units you order and depending on the product price. And so I tried that out. And so it actually worked for several of my stores. It worked very well. I was able to secure a dropshipping relationship with suppliers on Alibaba, and they accepted dropshipping terms. And that's the method that I taught in my 2.5-hour Shopify tutorial. And so I got the logo on the product, and basically they were just dropshipping. And the way that I got fast shipping was I actually had my supplier use DHL shipping. DHL by far is the fastest. You also have FedEx. Typically it's going to be like 2 to 5 days out of China. And so that's, reasonable. For most people, under a week is reasonable. However, things have changed. And a lot of people, obviously, they've been using my strategy. They have, they've tried to also reach out to suppliers on Alibaba, and they've tried to get their logo on the product. They try to get fast shipping and all that kind of stuff. But they've noticed that suppliers have become unwilling to put a logo on the product, or to offer fast shipping, or basically do anything outside of the traditional dropshipping model this year in 2021. And so that's why I had to sit down and really think about, okay, what's the best way for somebody new with Shopify to actually get their store up and running, start with dropshipping, but not really be stuck in that phase of no logo and very slow shipping with customer complaints coming in, because you will get customer complaints if you're gonna do that. So here's the best way that I found. Number one, you wanna start off with AliExpress. So you're gonna go on AliExpress and you're gonna look for your product from 3 different suppliers or 3 different listings, and you're gonna order samples. You're gonna see how it arrives in the mail and how it looks. And I'm gonna show you how to do that right now. All right, so I'm on AliExpress right now, this lovely, lovely website that I have used so much in my life at this point. So you wanna type in your product in here. So let's say, for example, I see it right here, the classic laser IPL hair removal device, laser IPL hair removal, okay? That's what we're gonna do. And then what you're gonna do is you're going to sort by orders. Okay, so you're gonna go from highest to lowest amount of orders. You can see the amount of orders here. It says 13,000, 5,000. You can also see the feedback, right? So you can see like the stars. And so if it's anything above like a 4.5, it's gonna be good. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna right click and open link a new tab, any of the ones that look like the product that you wanna sell. So let's say this is the one that's similar to the one I wanna sell. I'm gonna right click and open that. Let's keep going. This one also looks similar. And then, I recommend trying different models because you actually might find that a certain model, like maybe this one, is actually better than the one that you're looking for. That's the whole point of getting samples. You always want to make sure you're selling the highest quality product, It's so important. That's really how you win with e-commerce. That's how you build a solid brand. That's how you build brand loyalty. So just open 3, 4, 5. I'm going to open this other one. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go on the listing here. And then you're going to go and just basically buy it and then have it shipped to your house. So as if you're just buying this for yourself. And you can do that for every single one. You will need an AliExpress account. That's super easy to make though. So the whole point of this is to wait until it comes to your house. And then once you have it, you want to actually test it. You want to see how it looks. And it's going to be very clear which one is the best. Imagine that you are the customer. Imagine that you are the person receiving the product and ask yourself, which product would you like the most if you were the customer? If you're not really the target market for that specific product, you can always ask a friend who is in the target market or a member of your family or somebody in your circle, in your network, right? For example, myself, I don't do IPL laser hair removal. However, I can ask friends who are girls in my life and, I can have them use it and then let me know which one is the best one. So at that point, once you've ordered samples and when you've actually figured out which one is the best, at that point, you can actually start building your website. So you want to build out your Shopify store. You want to use Shopify. It's by far the best tool. There's a few other ones like WooCommerce, Magento, but Shopify just is by far the easiest. Don't concern yourself with things that won't really get you to your goal. A lot of people, they ask like, oh, do I do WooCommerce, BigCommerce, all these other tools? Use Shopify. Just make it simple for yourself. Okay. So, now at this point, you want to make sure that your website is Class A, super professional, has amazing product photos, super, super important. I've actually put together a team of the absolute best photographers. It's called the Ecom Freedom Perfect Photo Service. And this is something that typically is exclusive to our members in the Ecom Freedom program. But I actually put the link down below so you can check that out as well. Good photos are expensive. This is the best price that I found. These are my own personal photographers. So you can go and take advantage of that for your site. Also, I highly recommend using something like a drag and drop website builder to really make your Shopify store building experience much easier, because designing a nice Shopify store is not the easiest thing in the world. So I've actually linked the absolute best app for basically designing a Shopify store like in a drag and drop way. It makes it super easy. So that's also going to be down below. So at that point, once your site is ready and once it looks good, you want to use Oberlo or a similar order fulfillment software to automate your orders. I'm going to link some options below as well. And what this does is basically when customers are going to place an order on your site, then you're just going to use Oberlo to automatically fulfill it. Oberlo is going to go, it's going to order the product off AliExpress, and then it's going to ship it to your customer. Now, one thing to remember is that at this point, this is the traditional dropshipping method. And at this point, you don't have a logo and the shipping will not be fast. But what's important to realize is that this is temporary. This is temporary, and that at this stage, you really don't care about making the most amount of money. You don't even care about profitability. All you're really aiming to do is you're just trying to see if you're able to sell it at a break-even price, or maybe slightly profitable by adding upsells and cross-sells. So an upsell is, let's say when your customer is checking out on your site, and then, it's going to say the price and everything. Before they hit checkout, an upsell is going to pop up. It's going to say, hey, maybe you want another one for like half the price or 25% off or something like that, and then there's cross sells and things like that. So that's a way to increase your profit. So remember, the main goal when you're in the dropshipping stage, is that you are just trying to see if you can break even with your Facebook ads or whichever ads method you're running, and you don't care about profitability. Profit will come. Profit will come. Remember, if you're going to build a quality brand, you're going to sell a high quality product, then profit will come, okay? Now, a super common question that I get, a lot of people ask me this, Dan, should I build a general store or should I build a branded niche store? And look, it's not 2017 anymore. General stores don't work. Ask yourself, when you want to buy something, do you want to buy from a brand, or do you want to just, buy a generic item from a general store? You want to buy something from a brand. When I want to buy a TV, the TV to the left of me is an LG. I'm not going to buy a TV with no brand and, it's something generic, because the TV is just not going to be good. So remember, you want to build a branded niche store, and what that means is you want to start off with one product, maybe 2, 3, 4 max, a small little product line. The lower the better, just to stay focused, and that way you can really build a brand around one niche. Remember, focus is critical when you're in the starting ages of entrepreneurship and in e-commerce. Now, I will remind you that this first stage is a huge humongous pain in the ass. You're just looking for that confidence that you're going to get that your marketing works, your ads are working, your website looks good, and you're getting sales. So even if you're breaking even for the first 2 months, it's all good. It's all good. Now, once your store is making consistent sales, at least break even, and you can see that the demand is proven, now you can proceed to the next step. And this is really where you're going to be able to get a logo and fast shipping. And this is really the only way to do it now. So here you're going to be placing a bulk order. So how this works is you're going to go and you're going to find the same product on Alibaba. So now you're going to probably have to find a different supplier, but that's fine because on AliExpress, they're not even suppliers, it's just like listings. So you go on Alibaba, you use something called the supplier contact template, which is in the Ecom Freedom Amazon FBA starter pack, which you'll find down below as well. Reason why it's the Amazon FBA starter pack, you're probably wondering, this is a Shopify video. It's because placing bulk orders is usually the way to start an Amazon business. And basically what you're doing at this point is you're essentially following the exact same process as a new Amazon FBA business, where you're placing a bulk order through Alibaba. So you're going to use that template, and what you're going to do is you're going to try to get the lowest MOQ possible. So 250 units or 500 units of a minimum order quantity. All right. So remember, one thing is you always want to negotiate suppliers on Alibaba. They'll always highball you on the price, and they'll always give you a crazy MOQ. So you just want to negotiate with them. Don't be too aggressive because you want to make sure the deal is a win-win. That's really the secret to effective supplier relationships. Because if your supplier gets pissed, then you're not going to get good quality products, and they're going to try to chintz you on other things. So try to negotiate the best price and also the lowest MOQ. It's usually 250 units, 500 units. If you're already selling a lot during the dropshipping phase, then you can go ahead and go for the 1,000 units. And to get fast shipping on your Shopify store, what you're going to do is you're going to get all those, that whole bulk order of units, let's say 500 units, you're going to have your supplier ship it to your house if you're selling in the United States with DHL, FedEx, or UPS. These are the best shipping methods. You want to ship it by air unless you are ordering more than 1,000 units, then you can ship it by sea, but obviously that's going to take a month to a month and a half. When you're shipping by air, that's going to take a little less than a week. You can also fulfill from Amazon, which is amazing. We do that on our brands as well. And how you do that is basically you have to have an Amazon Seller Central account. You also have to be selling the product on Amazon as well. So you can't just have a Shopify store and not sell on Amazon and fulfill from Amazon. You also have to have a listing up and running on Amazon. So I have tons of videos that cover this as well. It's covered in the Ecom Freedom program down below that you'll find. There's a 7-day free trial there too. So that's also an option. Amazon makes it super easy, but you also have to be selling on Amazon for that. If you don't want to even get into that, if that's too complicated, I completely understand. Then you can just fulfill from your own house. That's going to involve you basically, packaging the product yourself and then driving to your nearest FedEx, UPS, or DHL, and then shipping each unit manually to each customer, which is not a big deal. You just do that, once every weekday or so. Now, this stage does require an upfront capital investment, but at this point, you've already built up the confidence that it's going to work. So you've minimized your risk, right? Because you've already gone through that initial drop shipping stage. Now, super important note, you want to make sure that you have a healthy profit margin on your product. So when you create your bulk order, when you actually pay your supplier, make sure that you have enough profit there between the price that you're selling your product at on your site and between the price that you're buying it at with your supplier. You want to make sure that you have at least a 30% profit margin, at the absolute lowest, 25% if you're expecting to do a lot of volume. 40 to 50% is really the sweet spot, and anything above is icing on the cake. If you have a profit margin above 50%, like that's incredible, right? And that's the profit margin without including any ad cost, without including any marketing costs, right? So that's basically just the difference between what you're selling and what you're buying per unit, including shipping to your house or to Amazon from your supplier. Down below, you'll also find a link to the Shopify Profit Calculator. It's a completely free tool that we created here at Ecom Freedom as well. We have a ton of amazing resources for new e-commerce entrepreneurs, people that are building successful e-commerce businesses. So depending on when you watch this video, that's going to be available. Or if it's not available yet, you'll see it's coming soon. That means it's still in development. So you can check that out down below. So that is the absolute best way to actually get fast shipping on a logo on your Shopify product, on your Shopify store. E-commerce has just blown up lately. It's gotten incredibly popular, and with good reason. It's the absolute best business to start. If I was starting today, I would basically do the exact same thing that I did 4 years ago. It's crazy that it's been that long. 4 years ago, I got into e-commerce and I started my first business, and it changed my life. It changed my life. Like I can't put into words the things that I've been able to do in my life, and the places that I've been able to travel to, and the financial decisions I've been able to make, the things I've been able to experience at such a young age, in my early 20s, with the fact that I started an e-commerce business. It really is the absolute best business you can start. And right now, with everybody trying to learn how to make money from home, it is a solid business, and there's just so much opportunity. There's an enormous amount of opportunity. People are going to look back in 10, 20 years and they're going to say, wow, I wish I had started an e-commerce business back then. And those who take action right now are actually the ones that are going to basically set themselves up financially for the rest of their life. Now, with getting into entrepreneurship and Shopify and online business, a lot of people naturally ask themselves this question: is it really possible? Is it possible to replace my previous full-time income, if you're working a 9-to-5 job, with an income much higher from a Shopify store? The answer is yes, it is possible. And not just a full-time income. Like, making $10,000 a month in sales with Shopify is a minimum standard. And I'm not kidding. It's really a minimum standard. Like, it's not all that much, which you'll find that making 10K a month, if you actually break down the amount of products you have to sell, the amount of units, basically you only have to sell about 10 to like 30, 40 units a day to make that much in sales a month. Now, granted, that's not profit. Profit is going to be between 30 and 50%, and that's a little bit down the line, not at the very beginning. But my point is it's possible. It's the most rewarding thing you can do, and don't even look at any other business. The thing is, though, is that Shopify does have an incredibly steep learning curve, and it's important that you know all the right steps. Now, watching my videos obviously is an amazing first step. If you've been watching a lot of my videos, if you've been very interested in doing this for a long time, then it's time to take action. It's time to, really get started on your journey. It's time to make this thing come true for yourself. This is why getting a quality course and mentorship, I can't recommend enough. This is so important. Myself, I didn't actually figure this all out myself. I actually also took the best courses that were available at the time, long ago when I started, which are not available anymore. And those programs helped me start. Of course, at the time, it was totally different, and I had to figure out a lot of things myself. I ran into a lot of obstacles and made a lot of costly mistakes. And that's why I created the Shopify Freedom course in 2019, because I wanted to create the absolute best step-by-step program that literally shows you every single step. It's fully updated. We're constantly updating it. It's been updated several times now. And in that course, I basically show every single step you need to learn to build a successful 6-7-figure and even 8-figure Shopify business, e-commerce, like a real e-commerce store, a real e-commerce brand, not just something that's going to make you money for a month or two. It's been an amazing ride so far. I've had thousands of success stories. We've really grown Shopify Freedom and eCom Freedom into the #1 e-commerce education platform. Super happy about that. I have tons of success interviews on my channel. You can check that out as well. And I have more coming out every month. I'm literally interviewing successful students every single week right now, which is amazing. So it's clear that it's simply the best investment that you can make. Now, we're always running a special offer as well, so you can check the description down below for the current special offer, just to make it a little bit easier for you to actually join and get started. Obviously, starting capital. When I started, I didn't have a lot of money at all. I only had like $1,800 is what I put in for my first product, and I was cleaning windows. I have videos on my channel of that too. When I was starting out in entrepreneurship and stuff, but it paid off, and it paid off very, very well. You'll get lifetime access to the course with all updates, as well as lifetime access to the mentorship, which is really world-class. You get unlimited mentorship with myself on calls, and also one-on-one mentorship on Facebook with our team of successful, verified 6-7-figure sellers. We have an entire team of successful sellers, both Amazon and Shopify, and we're all helping students succeed. So the link for that is down below. You'll also find a link to the Freedom Blueprint. Depending on when you watch this video, it's basically showing how we took a brand new Shopify e-commerce brand from zero all the way to $1 million valuation and to 6-7 figures per year. Brand new product from zero, from nothing. And so depending on when you watch that video, that's going to be available down below as well. Thank you so much for watching. Add me on Instagram at DanVass. If you have any questions at all about life, Shopify, entrepreneurship, if you need the push to get started, send me a DM on there. I'm happy to respond. That's the best way for me to reach out to my audience. I also have a podcast, The Dan Vass Show. I release episodes 3 times a week. So if you're interested in that, you can check that out as well. Thank you so much. I'm incredibly grateful for you watching this video. I believe in you, and you will succeed. There's no doubt about it. You just have to get up. You have to take action. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon.